Hello, beautiful friends. It's LeahMarie here with your weekly Oracle Pick a Card. And this week I'm bringing you cards from one of my favorite decks, the Wisdom of Hidden Realms, which we used frequently on the channel here, just because it has so many powerful and diverse messages to bring forth. So, with that being said, the energy that I was getting pre reading today was related to energies of the past. So, as some of you may or may not know, we are about to enter another Mercury retrograde period. And within that time frame, the way that I experience it is often that energies that are yet to be resolved in our life, outstanding circumstances or wounds or experiences that we have not yet received closure on or that we have not completed a cycle with, are often really what comes forward for us to address during these time frames. So interestingly, I really was feeling in the flow of some 80s jams this morning, and so maybe that resonates with some of you. Maybe you want to go check out and listen to a fun YouTube 80s mix or something, but there was definitely some energy there coming through really strong this morning as well, pre-reading. And just this time frame for us during this winter season in the northern hemisphere to really go into that space of closure, of closing out cycles, of releasing things that aren't serving us, of healing things from the past and letting them go, really cleaning up our inner world during these winter months of introspection so that we can, when spring arrives, be ready for that new cycle, that new life, and do as much of that as we can in tandem with Mother Earth. So it's really powerful when we work with her cycles in order to complete our own inner cycles. And so I invite you guys to really connect with that energy today when picking your card. If there is anything that you know consciously feels unresolved in your life, or maybe you're just looking for some insights on where to go next or what to do next, whatever the case may be, I invite you to bring that awareness to your heart as you decide if you want one, two, or three, or more than that. If I can help you out with anything, all the info is in the description box below, and I'm happy to help or hear from you. Please do like, share, and subscribe if this resonates. All of that really supports the channel, and I so appreciate all of that love that you guys have been giving me and continue to give me. So thank you so much for that. And I'm going to start with card one. So, card one is the Wise Woman of Wonderland, and she speaks about integrity and compromise. And this is the number 21. And I just want to take this in and I'm going to bring it closer because there's a lot of details in here. And so, the Wise Woman of Wonderland, integrity and compromise. Let me see if I could get that the best view for you there. There are so many beautiful little details. So, do your best, and I will just kind of say right away what I'm getting from this is, we are tapping in with this deck to the wisdom of hidden realms. And the energy of this has a very strong sort of Alice in Wonderland vibe to me, with this woman sitting on the mushroom and she's got the rabbit on the ground. And what I'm feeling is that there is this certain level of energy that might be brewing inside of you at this time, your own reflection to what does integrity mean to you, and what does integrity look like to you? What kind of actions are aligned with inner integrity specifically? So the energy of wisdom itself comes from a place of having inner integrity, speaking your truth and taking action from there. And now sometimes that does mean compromise. Sometimes that does mean adjusting your original plans to sort of view things from other people's perspectives. So we're getting this energy of her kind of sitting above the rabbit, and yet at the same time, I feel this energy of dependency upon each other. So looking at how do these two components work together. So within your life, how can you remain true to yourself while also engaging with the world around you, especially right now when we are encountering a lot of opposing forces. So I'm seeing a very broad gap now. I've talked to many people, so there's been like this gray scale, and love's on one end and fear's on the other end. And there used to be a wider range of gray in the middle. And now what I'm seeing is that there's this strong love on one end, fear on the other end, and there's not much of anything in between. So these changes that the universe are kind of forcing us into, in a sense, or pushing us towards, as it were, are really sort of putting in this place this energy of how do we remain in a place of love while surrounded by a lot of other fear. And interestingly, the rabbit, while it is a symbol of good luck and good fortune, is often perceived by some in the shamanic realm as something that carries the energy of fear as well. And so it can be that good luck and good fortune are coming your way, and it's important to look at any fears that might be getting triggered, because oftentimes fear will block our good luck and our good fortune, especially if we're choosing to live in that fear realm instead of aligning with the love. And so this, to me, with her being on this mushroom and the rabbit being down below, is showing me energetically that you are able to, if you want, to seek a higher perspective where you rise above the fear and the energy of that, and you allow yourself to be in a place where you can receive all the blessings the universe wants to give you. So if you can notice it with this card, I'll try to bring it as close as I can. She has the sweetest little smile on her face and that little bit of a light on that staff that she has. And so it's almost as though this wisdom that she has is the realization that when she chooses to live from a place of love, she is able to transcend the fear and turn what used to be there into a beautiful wealth of blessings. And so at this time, you are being called to really search inside your soul. What does integrity look like and mean for you? And being in that state of inner integrity and authenticity for yourself. So this isn't about anyone else at this time. And when we talk even about the energy of compromise, we need to, within our compromises, still be honoring our truth. And if you are not in a space where you can honor yourself and still compromise, then a different dynamic might need to be created. And so that's also really important, is to really tap into that and being honest with yourself about anything you're dealing with in your life. And so I'm getting this one last note with this. If this is in relation to something from the past that you have still yet to fully complete the cycle on or process, it's time to really get truthful with yourself about what happened, what your role was, and how you want to choose to move forward in a really strong and authentic way for yourself, so that the flow of good luck and good fortune can come to you, versus living in any old energies of fear where you might otherwise not step into this higher perspective and this deeper sense of wisdom that the wise woman of Wonderland is offering. So she's offering you this wisdom that in your integrity, there are many blessings to be had. So thank you so much for tapping into card 1, sending you so much love for an amazing week. Take care, everyone. So we're going to shift to card 2, and this one is in the reverse. And with this deck, if you're not familiar with it, so while I do channel the meanings from my heart, my connection with source, they may differ from the book if you have this deck. And at the same time, I do want to honor that with this deck, they have every card in here has an upright meaning and a reversal meaning. And the way that they work these cards is when they're in the upright, they're considered allies. They're helping us. And when they're in the reverse position, they are presenting themselves as challengers or something that's here to push us or help teach us a really big lesson. So this particular energy, the of waif, which I may or may not be pronouncing that correctly, so excuse me if I'm not. The keynotes in addition to that are self-sabotage, poverty, and poverty consciousness. And so with this message is coming through at this time. And I don't see this as negative. I see this as something that is encouraging you to let yourself out of a self-imposed prison. Now, this doesn't mean you've locked yourself in the house, although maybe for some of you it has. During this pandemic, there's a lot of individuals who have been very triggered. And as I mentioned in card one, there's this really crazy dynamic of love and fear happening where people are on either ends of the spectrum. And so some people have been communicating that they know other people, or, they have been feeling like a prisoner in their own home and a prisoner in a state of fear with different things going on in the world. And this challenger is coming to you today to let you know that you have the keys to let yourself out. You have the ability to shift out of this state of self-sabotage and poverty consciousness. And I just want to point out with this card that even if you look closely at it, there's bars behind this person, but it looks to me as though the rest of their experience is actually in an outside space where they could literally get up and turn around and walk away. And we've got this beautiful light shining in from that other side with all this energy of hope and expansion and blessings. And so I just really feel that if you pulled this card today, there's some aspect of your life in which you are what is holding you back. So whatever that means for you, it's not something that you need to beat yourself up about. It's not something to be upset about. It's simply something to become aware of. Where in your life might you be holding yourself back? Especially if you listen to the beginning message where I mentioned being in a place of closing out old cycles. So if there's any aspect of your life where you are not allowing yourself to move forward from a place of fear, from a place of feeling like you don't deserve what you want, you're not enough for what you want, you shouldn't or can't have what you want, all of that can just be thrown away, because that is the mind. And so this guide is coming through to really help you see that your thoughts are powerful, that you are the holder of the key to release yourself from any sense of imprisonment that you have, or any sense of fear. Fear is an illusion, and while it might feel very real and tangible sometimes, when we allow ourselves to shift into a state of self-love and for loving and sending compassion to ourselves and any situations that we're in, that allows our state to shift and allows us to see that we have had the power to free ourselves the whole time. And it doesn't matter how much time it took you to arrive at that realization. It just matters that you arrive at that realization. And so Spirit is coming through today to really invite you to look at any areas in your life where you might be holding yourself back, where you might be imprisoning yourself in old cycles, in outdated beliefs about yourself and what's possible for you, and really allow yourself to experience the beauty that you are. You are all an amazing child of the universe that deserves to be happy, that deserves to be loved, that deserves to have the things that you want in your life. And in my experience, I did this to myself for a very long time. I held myself back. I didn't see my value and my worth. So I didn't try to strive for bigger and better things because I didn't necessarily feel like I was good enough or I deserved it. And it wasn't until I stepped into this space of really aligning myself with the divine, with the universe, whatever that looks like for you. But for me, it was like saying, okay, universe, show me myself through your eyes. Show me my worth. Show me my value. Help me cultivate a healthy relationship with myself. And then it was like magic. Things just started unfolding. And this is why I know that if you guys call out to the universe and you ask it to help you with this task, to see the grace that you are and all that the universe wants to bestow upon you, you will not only be amazed, but you will also start to see clear paths towards the fulfillment of what it is that you want most in your life at this time. So I really strongly encourage you to connect with especially this golden light that's there and really seeing where you are placing your own self-imposed restrictions, where you are holding yourself back or allowing yourself to live in old poverty consciousness thoughts and beliefs about yourself. And the one last nugget when it comes to wealth. So poverty consciousness in my experience is sort of the opposite of wealth consciousness. So wealth consciousness is very abundant and very open, and poverty consciousness is the opposite. And so in order to step into wealth consciousness, it's also about you observing and really checking in with yourself. What does being wealthy mean to you? And I'm going to tell you right now, in our society, in many societies, money is what people choose to focus on. And in fact, that's one of the least valuable forms of abundance that we actually have. And yet at the same time, so much of the collective is so focused on money and money equaling our sense of self-worth. So I really encourage you guys to sit down and look at the fact that you're here is wealth, the fact that you're healthy, the fact that you can bring your light and your love to the world is abundant. So there's so much more to you than just the amount of money that you have. And it's really important for you to realize that, because other people can tell you that, but that's not necessarily going to mean anything unless you step into that understanding that you already have inside you a wealth that does not compare to anything on this 3D plane. The love that you are is actually the greatest wealth that you can ever have. And so this is why I say, like, call out to the universe to help show you that love that you are, the wealth that you do have in your soul to give, that is so much more than dollars in your bank account. So really beautiful energy here today, and so much opportunity for those of you who picked card 2. So I'm sending you all a lot of love and light for an amazing week. Take care. So I am going to move on to card 3, which is the Lady of Lightning. And I love the Lady of Lightning. I'll show you why in a moment. So she talks about surprises, sometimes shock, and a total paradigm shift. So I'm going to pop that in a little closer here, see if that works for you there. So the Lady of Lightning, she does bring surprises. So much like lightning, we get those lightning strikes in the sky, and it can be very surprising, and where they're going to pop is different, and what they're going to hit or illuminate is different. And with this energy of surprise, I do feel that this is happy, beautiful, joyous surprises and a really abundant energy. So I'm being very strongly drawn to the light coming in down the top, and to the fact that she is, if you didn't notice, the lightning is actually coming out of her fingertips. And so I'm feeling at this time, for those of you that chose this card, there's a really strong energy of you having this energetic ability to create this paradigm shift in your life. And when I speak about a paradigm shift, what this means is total, like, 360 rearrange, possibly of your whole life. Now, when I say that, I know that could bring up like, what does that mean, right? Because it's like, sometimes change can be really intense and very dramatic. And the energy that I'm getting with this is you're getting this awareness now to help you prepare for change that is on the horizon. And the change that feels like it's on the horizon, because we're getting that light coming down from source, it feels like it is literally gifts from the divine coming to you for all of your hard work. It is here to create this shift in your life that perhaps you have been working towards for a very long time. I'm getting the resonance from that beginning energy I spoke about of closing out old cycles. So, as you have been doing your work, as you have been striving to be the best version of yourself, to meet goals, to grow, to view things differently, this has all been culminating with a major paradigm shift in not only how you view life, but how you experience life, how you engage with life. And so I'm feeling that this energy of the cycle of winter that you're in right now, you're working through coming to the end of this particular growth cycle. You will be doing a lot of other growth the rest of your life if you choose to. However, this is this energy of coming into a specific cycle completion so that you can essentially shift into a new reality. Now, a lot of this energy is being really strongly supported by our astrological alignments. This started on that solstice last month on the 21st, when new gateways of unconditional love opened up so that we can really start to step into this powerful new space of living life with a new reality, living life saturated with love, viewing it through the lens of love, and realizing that any fears that were there or any fears that might still be there are simply illusions in the mind. And I'm talking about the psychological ones, right? If there was an immediate danger, physical danger, those fears are real. However, all of the what ifs, the, feelings and emotions that churn up for most people at night when they lay down in bed, a lot of people communicate with me that that's a struggle time for them because it's like everything's quiet. There's not the distractive stimulations of, TV and music and activities. It's like you're just with yourself and your thoughts. And so, if you've been experiencing any of that sort of energy, I really invite you to call upon the love of the universe to help, and the Lady of Lightning to blast out any other fears that still remain as you're about to close out this cycle. Because it feels to me that this paradigm shift either has just happened or is about to happen for you, and any remnants that are left do feel that it feels likely that they are related to some fear, whether it be conscious or unconscious, that you're not quite able to let go of yet. And I get that. So one analogy I can give you is there's often these invisible barriers. Fear can be an invisible barrier because we don't know what's on the other side. And so I say this because often when people are clinging to a fear that they know on some level they have to overcome, it's because they don't know what it's going to look like to face that fear. And it's really about taking that first step, an action movement to face it, that allows them to realize it was an illusion the whole time. And it's literally like pushing fog and walking through. And so such a powerful thing. And fear can have a lot of power over us if we choose to let it have power over us. We also can very easily, if we choose to, look at it as something we can do easily. So also be aware of how you talk to yourself about these things. If you're saying internally, this is going to be so hard, guess what it's going to be? It's going to be hard. But if you instead say, you know what? I've got the universe supporting me. It's got my back. This is going to be easy peasy and done. And then you take action. Totally different feeling, totally different energy. So the Lady of Lightning is helping to electrify you, to clear out this end of this cycle, or to reward you if you have already just completed this, letting you know like all of this energy is there. And now that you've had this paradigm shift, you're going to feel so electrified, so empowered, and capable of pretty much doing anything without fear, possibly even entering the equation. And so, really powerful and just amazing time on the horizon for those of you who picked card three. This is a really powerful energy. So, I'm sending you so much love for an amazing week. Take care, everybody.